It's not.
in a
That's
sound
not
bite.
too difficult.
Yeah.
Tell me about Cardigan.
Cardigan, yeah. There it is, and yeah, it's gonna be. I'm gonna be back on this again soon, which I'm really looking forward to.
Nice.
Yeah, it's very. It was just a huge process. Published in France, and we still haven't done book 2. Just for multiple reasons. One of my best friends who wrote it, he's into toy. He's a very successful toy manufacturer now, and he's sort of like really collectible, sought after toys, vinyl toys, designer vinyl toy stuff. He's just been so busy, so I've had to wait sort of like 10 years to get the script for book 2. And starting a family and everything, so that's going to be happening soon, which is a relief, but then I'm a bit nervous about it as well because I know how much work it is. But going out to France and doing Angoulême and all these other wonderful comic bande dessinée festivals, it was so cool. So I'm looking forward to doing that again. And once this whole story's done, then it'll be in a collected edition. But yeah, so Cardigan is just about it's from a young boy's perspective on an alternative Earth and on a war-ravaged Earth and alternative Earth, and just about a father-son relationship, and just going on sort of just really intense journeys, not together, but they're sort of separated. And you know what, I can't really say too much about it because we brought on a new writer and he's changed the story. So book 2, I don't know how it's going to end, but there's lots of marvelous monsters and talking goats in it, and yeah, it's really cool. I love it.
It could be a video game.
Yeah. So like the ink, the present time, I've inked it, and when it's a flashback, I'd go into pencil, nice sepia, warm tones for pencil, which is really nice as well. I think I prefer that actually more than the inking because there's so many zillions of lines, and I do yoga to help out the RSI and the aching bones, so that really helps. But man, it's a lot of work. So that's going to be happening again soon.
I can't even imagine. So I don't know that everybody tuned in, but I first learned of your work through the Ego Strip series. What can you tell us about those illustrations and how they kind of came about?
Yeah, little black books that I used to take with me on the train to London, from Brighton to London, to my work with Bossa Studios in London, the wonderful video game company. So I used to commute, take my sketchbook and just draw instead of fiddling with your phone and, getting distracted. I would get into that wonderful place and start, sketching. So there's one time I was a bit stubborn with social media, and my wife just gave me a kick up the arse and said, "Look, just put your stuff up there." And, okay, all right. And it was going pretty well, and I had this sort of like Breaksploitation block party image that was used for Breaksploitation album cover, and it's sort of circulated around the world and come a bit of a sort of cult sort of image, really. That is sort of this block party. I captured the essence of just I guess it was in the Bronx, nowhere specific, on a courtyard with a chain link fence and just everyone getting down around a little sound system, probably late 70s, early 80s. And that really resonated with many people. And Rakim and Pete Rock would use it as saying, "I'll remember where it all comes from, the streets," and and so I thought, "Oh, man, this is really cool." So I did a little thank you illustration. And it started, I think, with Paradise Grey out of the X Clan. I did a little illustration of him, which I just happened to have here. So it was this little one here of him for those who don't know, he was, I think he was like the manager of the Latin Quarter, or he had that night, that legendary night at the Latin Quarter. And he was a member of the X Clan as well. Yeah, I'm sure of that. Don't quote me on that, but so he got in contact. I did a little drawing of him, and it was just really nice. I just did him. It wasn't ego based, like, you know, check my shit out and just, you know, in your face and all that. It was just like just standing, contemplating. And then the next one, Rakim gave me a shout for the Breaksploitation, again, to saying, yeah, just remember where, you know, your roots come from. And so I did a little picture of him. So that was the next one. And I'm doing this on the train. It's all freestyle. Just pick my pen up and just go for it. And that was his classic line, you know, out of Follow the Leader. You know, straight into the Milky Way. And then I did Pete Rock as well, because he gave me a shout. I thought I'll do a nice one of him. So I mean, so they're only pretty small because they're very portable. Oh, actually, I know. I did call Keith a bit later on.
Nice.
He didn't give me a shout out or anything, but I'm just, you know where I'm going with it anyway.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so, yeah, it's in there somewhere. So Pete Rock was next, and it just went on and on. So it was a very organic process.
How long does one of those take you?
Well, the journey is an hour to London. So it'd be just there and back. It'd be just about 2 hours. So it's cool. I mean, so I need reference. I mean, I had my phone, which I've got a sort of tolerate, hate sort of relationship with it, because they're pretty toxic things. But I won't get into it anyway. So I was using the phone for the face for reference. Not using one specific picture, because I didn't want to take photographers' work and then just, you know, just copy it. I just used it as reference, and then just placed them in different positions, and it was just really nice. Sometimes it's really difficult if you've got very limited reference, and I want them to rhyme, or they're in the moment of rhyming, spitting bars, and it's just very, very difficult. But anyway, yeah, so it's a couple of hours of very organic process, and it's like, I was thinking, it's like stripping away the ego, and it was also a little nod to Ego Trip as well, that magazine that I used to like I think it was in the mid to late 90s.
That's what I thought of when I first started.
Yeah. So I thought Ego Strip, because you're sort of stripping away the bravado, and it's my I'm doing that for myself as well, just being not afraid to put these people that I would put on a pedestal and say, no, I don't want to do that. I want to put them right in at a kitchen table or something, or just in that, and then the artist would be secondary, and then it was just like celebrating the human journey of creativity when you're in that lovely borderland, or that zone, or that your connection to maybe something higher, like a conduit of creativity. That's what it was about. So then it went down loads of little esoteric rabbit holes, and sometimes the artist was never forgotten about. I was always nodding back to them, but it was my chance to explore crazy shit that I'd been getting into, you know, and it was all relative to me. I'd join the dots and put it in an illustration.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are there any other projects we haven't talked about that you're working on, or that are kind of on hold right now with everything happening?
Nothing's on hold. I'm just busy. To be honest, I'm more busy than ever. I mean, I've got the J Period mixes, you know, that he's putting out weekly, the live Instagram mixes. So I do the artwork for that. Where he uses my artwork, but we tag team it, you know, which is really cool. I'm putting together this Ego Strip book, which I've got over 800 submissions now, which is really cool. Ready to launch a Kickstarter campaign. So hopefully there's going to be 3 volumes, but I'm going to start with 1 first, because it's in chronological order, starting from 2014 It's the first 2 years, so it's 2 years in probably roughly 160 pages. Working on, let me see. There's some unannounced stuff I can't really talk about.
Okay.
And I'm not sure, but he worked with Dilla, so that's all I'm saying, which is very nice. He's a very big part of Dilla's universe, all right? Tony Allen, which is great, is Fela Kuti's drummer, who recently passed, but he's putting out an album. So I'll be doing the art for that. And Dap Kings as well, Sharon Joan and Dap Kings. Yeah, Gabriel reached out, so I'll be doing some projects with him.
Wow.
A book on giants. I'm doing a lot of stuff. Crazy skeletons have been found all over the place, so I'm quite excited about that, actually. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. There was going to be a lot more murals as well, but because of all this debacle, it's not really happening right now. But there's a lot of stuff going on, which is cool.
Yeah. Someone asked earlier in the chat if you were going to return to the Doom a Day series.
No, I'm not right now. It was so much fun doing that.
It was fantastic.
Yeah, thank you. Because I created them all in one hit over a period of about a month, and put them together in a print. And then I thought, man, it was my wife Karen's idea. She said, why don't you just do, re-release it, but just focus on one a day. So I was redrawing it. It was just, I'd already done the artwork, but I mean, I could do probably 10 more, but I think I'm just, I never say never, but right now there's just too much stuff going on for me to return to that. And I don't like repeating myself,
Have you heard from him about it?
No, nothing. Which you've always got that little man on your shoulder saying, oh, isn't it going to be great if you do this artwork, work hard on it, at him, and he'll say, yeah, I love this, let's do the next album cover. That's going to enter the conversation in my mind. So it'd be amazing if I could work with him. And that's what I think, what every artist, visual artist, if they love music and really passionate about it, all they want really is some killer LP, just to be able to have their craft on the front, and it's an ultimate classic. I can't even think, I can't even think of, just think of, especially I suppose in the 70s and 80s, when there was sort of huge mega classic rock or funk LPs or disco or whatever at that time. I'd love that if the music was banging and it was just a classic, and it would last decades, and my artwork was on the front. I'd love that. Gatefold, poster.
Yeah, it lives on.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's I would absolutely love that.
Yeah. Do you feel that the pandemic or just having to be at home more has helped with your work? Are you able to focus? Are you more of a homebody? No.
Nothing's changed really, apart from maybe the need for people just to sort of maybe not escape all the the fear mongering and the propaganda, but just to have a good time in their mind, just to ground themselves with so much fear and uncertainty that's flying around, and the mainstream media has just been so toxic. Right. Maybe that has amplified the need for people to not go within themselves a bit more, but just to find that a little bit of escapism, just to totally switch off from it.
Right.
So the work has been really cool, still really creative, still lovely people. I'm lucky it hasn't affected me that way.
Do you have an opinion on the art will play and what everyone's calling the new normal?
you've just lit the tinderbox. I'm not down with that new normal nonsense. It's not in my lexicon. I think that's like a weaponized word from these folk in the ivory tower, and I'm just not into it.
Okay.
It's a huge topic, and I won't go into it, but I don't trust them as far as I can throw them.
Right.
I never have done any governments. I just don't. I'd rather be a little independent rabbit scurrying around than being in a warren full of fear.
I mean,
so I'm not down with that. You saying, would it change or something?
So say something like, because I've asked people, how will like art galleries survive if people don't want to be there in large groups? Like, will they go virtual and have virtual tours and whatnot, and just kind of like how art will survive, something like that?
It's just very inhuman. We need to touch, and
Right.
it's a whole nother subject. You need to. There is going to be a way. I think if we just stop living in fear, do your proper research, independent. There's a lot of answers. There's a lot of truth out there. And I mean, look, if businesses are just being even threatened, let's just put it bluntly, or if they want to open and they feel that, after 3 weeks, your body heals itself after, any virus really. I mean, this is just, just don't quote me on that, because you've got to navigate through this quagmire of information. So I just think there's other agendas at play. I can't just be quiet about it. I think the numbers don't add up to what we're being told, and you look at them. So I think that we personally should be mingling and just getting stuck back out there, because the information is just different from what this empirical mouthpieces are saying, and so I really question that, and we all should question this narrative that is being pumped. Not being idiotic, and do some stupid shit, and just respect people's boundaries if they still want to do that. But it's herd immunization, and you need to oxygenate yourself properly, and so wearing masks and all that stuff is I don't know, it's crazy. And it's getting like heretical to actually just give an opinion, or let's discuss this, let's have a bit of discourse. And it's turning very Orwellian. So I just hope that we can just stop living in fear, do the research, question authority figures, really question them, the police as well, because they've been bang out of order, just being the puppets to these ivory tower psychopaths. So let's just stand strong. And it's got to change. If this is the new norm, man, we got to question this stuff. It's being pumped out there. So sorry, I'm going to get off my soapbox now.
No, it's so fun. I think everyone's entitled to their own opinion as long as they're open to listening to others and they're not trying to push their agenda on anybody. I think you should feel free. You universally should feel free to kind of think how you want to, and just educate.
It's very important. Yeah, because we're all being sort of shut down and funneled into one way of thinking, and the mainstream media is so toxic, and people in this age of over information, it's very hard to navigate. So you've really got to have discernment and critical thought, and just allow yourself to have that discernment. Because if you just how can you discern anything when you're just bombarded with all this fear? And everyone's getting emotionally triggered really quickly. So I'm just blessed that I can just jump in the sea every day with my daughters and just roam the hills and just, be close.
I envy you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's brilliant. I mean, I shouldn't really apologise, man.
No,
But
no, you shouldn't.
just that allows me. I mean, I get down and depressed about it, and I'm anxious as well because it's just bonkers what's going on, and I feel in my heart that it's not the full story what we're given, and there's other agendas that may be down. If these governments they take away your freedoms, they better give them back, and people have got to be vigilant.
Right.
So yeah, I stepped up on my soapbox again, didn't I?
I mean, you're welcome to share whatever.
Yeah.
That's kind of the whole point of these, is for me to kind of give people an outlet to kind of just speak their minds.
Yeah. No, it's good. I appreciate that.
Of course. Is there anything else that you want to add or promote?
Well, I mean, getting back onto the art side. I mean, I was rambling on about the projects I'm doing, but yeah, anyone that is interested in the Ego Strip book, Part 1, they can go to www.egostripbook.com and to sign up. And that's how I get more subscriptions to make it viable to launch it as a Kickstarter campaign. Mm-hmm. I'm a bit nervous about it. It's just, oh man, my organisation skills, they do suffer a little bit, but I've got some good help. My designer.
I was going to say, I'm happy to help with that if you want.
Thank you. Yeah, my designer, Tom Gallen, he's a brilliant designer, and he's a very...
He just jumped in the chat.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Hello, Tom. Yeah, he's brilliant at what he does, and he loves writing lists, and I don't, and he's just very good at organising. So he cracks the whip when I need it. It's just good guidance, which is brilliant. So I really appreciate that. And so egostripbook.com, and if anyone's interested in any art prints, it's danlishartworks.bigcartel. I think I got that right, but I'm out there, so if I got that wrong, you'll find me on Big Cartel.
Yeah, just Google Dan Lish.
Yeah. So yeah, lots more to come, and I just hope I got the energy to keep on.
I do too.
Bringing the goodness. So yeah.
Thanks so much for taking the time, Dan. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, and look after yourself, and all the best to you and yours.
Same to you. Thanks so much.
Bye bye.
Have a good night.